Okay, I'm going to read some questions that have been sent in to me. In the last couple weeks, I sent out an email to my list and I said, give me your questions on automation. And people sent in a bunch of different questions. This first one was, how do I automate my marketing so I consistently get more deals per month? I'm getting started as an investor. I've done 4 deals using the for rent method over the last 4 months, got all my leads from the Automarketer. It's wonderful automation. Thank you. My question is, how do I automate my marketing so I consistently get more deals every month? Well, marketing is everything. You know, your business doesn't exist without marketing. Nothing happens till a sale is made. So you have to have your marketing running in order to have a successful business. The way you perform your business, the way you put it all together, the product you provide, the service you provide, all those things have to be decent as well. But none of those things matter if you don't have people coming in, if you don't have leads coming into the process. The Automarketer makes it possible for you to get a lot of leads coming in. So what we do is the Automarketer will go out to Craigslist, to other for sale by owner type websites, and it pulls ads in from those sites for people that are selling their homes rent to buy. And then it contacts those people through email, through text blast, and through voice blast. And when it sends out a message, the message that we've been sending out is, would you consider selling your home rent to buy rather than selling it outright? And we send that particular message because it's the one we find gets us the most responses. We can convert those leads into a lot of different types of deals. We can do the lease option, the for rent method is what I call it. We can do subject twos, we can do multi-mortgage, we can do land contract, we can do assignable cash deals, wholesaling. We can do all of those types of deals with those leads as they come in. And what this does is brings those sellers to us, and they tell us yes or no or maybe, or I don't understand what a lease option is, tell me more. If they say no, the system puts them into a follow-up system and it sends them emails every 3 weeks. If they say yes, it sends them an email and sends them to a link on our webpage that explains how the rent-to-buy process works. If they say yes and give us a phone number that we can call back, it sends you an email and says, here's a person you need to talk to. Now, if we're sending a text, and that's with the email campaigns, with the voice and text blast, people just automatically respond. And we get 10 times the response rate from text and voice blast that we get from emails. Emails we're averaging 4 or 5%. We're sometimes getting 30, 40, 50% response rates with text and voice blast. Now, not all of them are yes, but still, if you look at direct marketing, most direct marketing is very excited when they get half of 1% of a response rate. And when we start getting 20% response rates, it just blows this stuff out of the water. Now we have a flood of leads that we have to deal with and go through this process with. Later on in this series, I'm going to talk about the follow-up system that we're using that actually is bringing us in more and more qualified leads and more targeted leads as well, in addition to these things. So these are the types of things that we're doing. Now you can do this manually if you can get your emails through, or if you have a way to text blast and do that stuff manually. Or you can just do cold calls, which some of the people that are in my mentor program do it that way because they can't afford the Automarketer. But that's okay. That's the way we've always done it. The Automarketer makes it easier and it automates the process. The most important thing you can learn at the beginning is how to talk to these people. And I tell everybody that comes into my program, give yourself 3 or 4 months before you can expect to make any money in this program. I've got people that do it in a week or 2, but they're the exception, not the rule. So give yourself the time so you don't give up before you actually learn how to do it, because there is a learning curve. You do have to learn the language. You have to learn how to listen to people and how to talk to them and how to communicate what you're trying to do to solve their problem. Because what we're doing here is solving a problem. We're not trying to screw some old lady out of the equity in her home that she was going to give to her grandkids. We're actually trying to help people solve a problem they have with a house that they can't sell or a house they want to try to make more money with. We can help both need and greed situations in this lead generation process. So anyway, that's how you get a bunch of leads coming in. How you develop them, how you convert them, that's a different story. But at least this will give you an idea of what we're doing to bring them in. All right, hope that helps.